Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we were exploring the Market District. We were seeing the sights and offering our services out to the good people of Denerim. Now, at the end of the last episode, we were going to have a chat with Caesar and Master Ignacio here.
If you have coin, welcome to our shop. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers.
I'm not a refugee, have anything for sale, know anything special about Denerim, farewell. Have anything for sale?
Oh, yes.
Okie doke, what do you have? Nothing really too interesting. Lots of poison. And Master Ignacio?
Another visitor, the Maester. Enjoy browsing my wares.
Who are you? What sort of goods do you have? Farewell. Well, we saw what kind of goods he has. Who are you?
Master Trader Ignacio, at your service, good sir. My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Caesar handles the trade stock, I handle other affairs.
What affairs are those? You aren't from Ferelden, are you? Do you need any help? Farewell. What affairs are those?
Business deals, meetings. Caesar makes it so I am free of the day-to-day concerns of our store.
So he's basically like the manager. Got it. Caesar runs the front of house. Ignacio handles things in the back. You aren't from Ferelden, are you?
No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
What do you mean?
On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap. As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled whores. You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time.
With the Blight, Ferelden isn't exactly safe either.
Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto the streets can run red, and often do. I'd take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming.
Fair point, fair. Do you need any help? Yeah, so we offered our services to Guard Captain Kylon? One of the two. I can never remember his name. But basically what Arten's trying to do here, she's trying to run a bit of a PR campaign in Denerim. I think getting the people here on our side, making them see that we aren't these scummy, king-killing people. We have interest in the local community. We just want to help out. I really think that could help us. Do you need any help?
No. Not yet. Perhaps one day.
Okay. What stories do you have of Antiva?
It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was.
Farewell.
Luck be to you, Warden.
And apparently this guy has also seen our mugshot. Oh well. Now then, I don't believe there's anyone around here. Nope. Okay, so where to next? Brother Genitivi did ask if we could check back in on him when we return to Denerim, so we should probably do that. Genitivi. Hello, sir.
If it isn't the champion who succeeded in the quest for the Sacred Urn, I had not expected to see you so soon. I've written to the Chantry, telling them of your adventures. They are interested in having me lead an expedition. What do you think of that? I'm quite excited.
That's great news, Brother Genitivi. Excuse me, yes, sure, whatever. You said something about a reward. Yeah, I think Arten can be, how do I put this? At the time, Arten kind of said, "Ooh, are you really sure you want to be leading people to the urn? Are you super sure about that? Admittedly, that was because there wasn't an option to be like, do whatever you want. I really don't care about the urn. But, yeah, I think Arten can be happy for Brother Genitivi. That's great news, Brother Genitivi.
You made this all possible. I could never thank you quite enough, but I'm certainly going to try. Here, take this reward. I want you to have it. It will certainly do more good in your hands than lying around in this dusty house, eh? And the Arl is in Denerim for the landsmeet? I was relieved to hear that he is alive and well. It really is a miracle. And now, if you will excuse me, I have so much to prepare for. I wish Waylon was here to see all this.
Yeah, it is rather sad that Waylon got killed. Now, what did he actually give us? Maybe he gave us the runestone? I'm actually not entirely sure. Huh. Oh, well, and the codex updated? Okay, so, part of me is like, we read all this recently, but it wasn't within the last couple... Oh, go on, I'll read it all, I'm sorry. I just like reading the codex entries, I'm sorry. Brother Ferdinand Genitivi. As it is the duty of all true sons of the Chantry to make the chant heard from every corner of the world, I made it my mission to find as many corners of the world as possible. The Maker can hardly expect us to do one without the other. Excerpt from In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. Brother Genitivi is one of the Chantry's most well-known scholars, primarily on the basis of the stories he has published, which many of his contemporaries dismiss as fanciful, of his travels across the length and breadth of Thedas. His travels and rather too curious nature led him to a study of folklore, which gave him the notion that he could track down that most debated of all artifacts, the Urn of Sacred Ashes. He announced that he had found what appeared to be the trail of the urn left in the legends of the regions through which it had passed from Minrathous on its way into hiding. And he appears to have been right. The final resting place of Andraste lay at the summit of a remote mountain. He returned to Denerim a little worse for wear, and was granted funds and manpower to mount an expedition to study the temple in which the urn is kept. Good for him. I'm glad he's keeping busy. Now then.
Very well.
Where to next? There's Wonders of Thedas. We haven't been in there yet. I'm very interested to see what we can find in this little shop. After that, the Nord Noble Tavern is probably a good place. And then I think we'll be heading out of Denerim for a little while. Okay, I can see a few books, so I think I'll gather them all up before reading the codex entry.
Yes, make it quick.
I have a note here from your master.
Strange. Let's see this. I knew it. I gave that man the best 7 weeks of my life. Well, I guess he won't have me to push around anymore. Ha!
Okay, sir. It was only 7 weeks. You'll be right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Where do you think they get all this stuff? You think they, have any miniature golem dolls?
Oh, Alistair, we could certainly inquire. History of the Chantry and... Oh, the 2 scrolls. The Prisoner of Aenar. Ooh. And, excuse me.
Of course.
Whoa! Okay, nice knowledge. Foomph. Good for you, Arten. Okay, let's see. 2 strength. Oh, excuse me. I thought... So once I get to 50, I stop putting points into it. For some reason, I was reading that as 50. No. There we go. And... Master Survival. Lovely. Punisher. There we go. Dual Weapon Expert. Has been achieved. Lovely. Now then, those codex entries, what were they? The Aenar. When the Imperium occupied the area that is present-day Ferelden, They had 2 sites dedicated to magical experimentation at the extreme ends of the Imperial Highway. The southern one was the fortress of Ostagar, which looked out over the Kokari Wilds. The northern one was Aenar, although the exact location is now a secret known only to a handful of Templars. Whatever it was that Tevinter were trying to discover at Aenar, their work was never completed. The fortress was overrun by disciples of Andraste upon hearing the news of her death. According to legend, it was a massacre, eerily silent, for the invaders caught the mages while all but one of them were in the Fade. The site was left structurally sound, but spiritually damaged. Possibly because of this, the Chantry chose to put it to use as a prison. Accused Maleficarum and apostates are held in the confines of Aenar. Those who have a powerful connection to the Fade, and particularly to demons, will inevitably attract something across the veil, making the guilty somewhat easier to tell from the innocent. From Of Fires, Circles and Templars, A History of Magic in the Chantry by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Ooh, Aenar. Aenar is not a good place. I always feel really bad for Lily. I think she's called Jowan's girlfriend in the mage opening, because she gets sent to Aenar. And whilst nothing is mentioned in the games, in the World of Thedas books, they don't put it in so many terms, but they basically say that Lily is forced to go regular, very invasive studies by the male Templars to make sure that she isn't possessed, because a demon would defend themselves. So basically, we'll rape her until a demon attacks us, because that'll prove her guilt. It's not a nice place. Really, just ugh. Denerim. When anyone in Ferelden speaks of going to the city, they inevitably mean Denerim. There is no other place in the kingdom which rivals it, not in size, population, wealth, or importance. It is the seat of the Therin family, the capital of Ferelden, the largest seaport, and, by ancient tradition, the meeting place of the Landsmeet. As well, Denerim was the birthplace of Andraste. One of them, anyway, as several other sites claim to have been the Prophet's early home, including Jada in Orlais. The Chantry takes no stance on which site's claim is valid, but it is well known that Andraste was Ferelden by birth. When visiting the pilgrimage site in Denerim, it is inadvisable to mention Jada at all. The city rests at the foot of the Dragon's Peak, a solitary mountain scarred by ancient lava flows. During Andraste's time, it reputedly filled the sky with a great column of black ash and sent burning rock raining down as far as the Free Marches, but it is now considered extinct. Some believe it merely sleeps, and will again darken the sky with ash and fire when the last Ferelden king dies. But this is highly unlikely. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. The Qunari. Anyone who travels far enough to the north will eventually encounter the Qunari. White-haired, bronze-skinned giants, a head taller than a man, with frighteningly calm demeanours and a sort of sparkling fire behind their eyes. For quite a long time, people believed that all Qunari were male, or that their men and women were simply indistinguishable. It was not until the Blessed Age that diplomats from Ravain were allowed, however briefly, to visit Parvolan, and there they discovered that Qunari females do exist in abundance and are quite easily recognised. The Ravaini say that Qunari have a certain kindness to them, or at least a conspicuous lack of cruelty, although I did not observe the creatures closely enough to evaluate their character. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. Geography of Thedas. Thedas is bounded to the east by the Amaranthine Ocean, to the west by the Tirashan Forest and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, and to the north by Donnock Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that bordered the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more lands became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided amongst the Anderfels, the Tevinter Imperium, Antiva and Ravane, with the islands held by the Qunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the Free Marches, Navarra and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren lands have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfels have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to a nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthine or north of Parvolan, for the Qunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere, but beyond that deduction, we know nothing. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genitivi. And books and songs? The History of the Chantry, Chapter 4. The crowds present at the death of Andraste were right to feel despair. It is believed that the prophet's execution angered the Maker, and he turned his back on humanity once more, leaving the people of Thedas to suffer in the dark. In these dark times, mankind scrambled for a light, any light. Some found comfort in demonic cults that promised power and riches in return for worship. Others prayed to the old gods for forgiveness, begging the great dragons to return to the world. Still, others fell so low as to worship the Darkspawn, forming vile cults dedicated to the exaltation of evil in its purest form. It is said that the world wept as its people begged for a saviour who would not come. Andraste's followers, however, did not abandon her teachings when she died. The cult of Andraste rescued her sacred ashes from the courtyard in Minrathous after her execution, stealing them away to a secret temple. The location of that temple has long been lost, but the ashes of Andraste served as a symbol of the enduring nature of the faith in the Maker, that humanity could earn the Maker's forgiveness despite its grievous insult to him. With time, the cult of Andraste spread and grew, and the chant of light took form. Sing this chant in the four corners of Thedas, it was said, and the world would gain the Maker's attention at last. As the chant of light spread, the cult of Andraste became known as the Andrastian Chantry. Those who converted to the Chantry's belief found it their mission to spread Andraste's word. There were many converts, including powerful people in the Imperium and in the city-states of what is now Orlais. Such was the power of the Maker's word that the young King Draken undertook a series of exalted marches meant to unite the city-states and create an empire solely dedicated to the Maker's will. The Orlesian Empire became the seat of the Chantry's power, the Grand Cathedral in Valrio the source of the movement that birthed the organised Chantry as we know it today. Draken, by then Emperor Draken I, created the Circle of Magi, the Order of Templars, and the Holy Office of the Divine. Many within the Chantry revere him nearly as equal with Andraste herself. The modern Chantry is a thing of faith and beauty, but it is also a house of necessity, protecting Thedas from powerful forces that would do it harm. Where the Grey Wardens protect the world from the Blights, the Chantry protects mankind from itself. Most of all, the Chantry works to earn the Maker's forgiveness, so that one day he will return and transform the world into the paradise it was always meant to be. From Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Genitivi, Chantry Scholar. Very interesting. Now then, sir, what do you have for sale? Do you have dolls?
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Browse his wares. Let's see, do you have dolls? Ooh. You don't, but you have some very nice staffs. What does Morrigan have? Ooh. I do like her with the oak branch, though. I think it suits her so well. Ooh, hello. I don't think I really need any of this. Whoa, increases experience from codex entries. Damn, we don't really need that, though. It'd be a bit of a faff having to constantly change belts every time I picked up a new codex entry. And... wait a minute. We don't need this gift. I've remembered who this is for. We don't need this gift. I'll read out the description. Ancient map of the Imperium. An antique, wine-stained map showing the boundaries of the ancient Tevinter Imperium. Yeah, we don't need that. Ooh. And that is for mages, so we don't need that either. How many Illyrian potions do we have? Yeah, we'll pick up these. All of them. Thank you. And we might as well. Thank you. Yeah, Alistair, I'm very sorry. They didn't have any golem dolls. Maybe we can get them from somewhere else, though. Now then, I do know there's a warehouse just over there, but we have absolutely no reason to be going into that warehouse, so I'll avoid it for now. The Nord Noble Tavern.
Of course.
Eamon did ask us to speak with the nobles.
You're being very foolish. Why would Loghain leave half our own army to die when a blight threatens? I take him at his word. The battle could not be won.
Even you must admit there's a suspicious rash of mortality among the advisors to the crown. Bryce, Urian, Eamon.
Eamon's not dead, more's the pity.
The only thing that truly worries me is Eamon's notion of putting this bastard on Marik's throne. It's an ill precedent.
True. I would rather see Honora keep the throne myself. Better it passes to the McTeer line than to some by-blow.
So I will say this. I'm rather sympathetic towards Loghain, and I don't think I'd ever say, oh, he was completely innocent. He had completely innocent motivations. There was nothing dodgy going there. No, I think at its core he wanted to help Ferelden, but it's the fact that he's become paranoid, and that paranoia is leading him to make these terrible, terrible decisions. But at the same time, I do think the Battle of Ostagar was unwinnable. I think that was Kaelan saying, no, we have to fight this. And Loghain's like, no, we really don't. We could do something else. But Kaelan, no, I want to fight this. I want to fight this war. And I want to be a hero. Da-na-na-na-na. And I think that if Loghain hadn't have retreated, I think maybe Ostagar would have been won. But there would have been like 10 soldiers left. Like the armies would have been decimated. So at least this way we do still have Loghain's army to fight the Darkspawn with, rather than just Larry, Barry, and Jim, you know? Navarra. Ooh. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais and was turned back by chevaliers, I decided to take the more roundabout path. A ship back to Ferelden, and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets in even the meanest villages, to the glittering golden College of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans begin construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. I do find Navarra interesting. I don't necessarily think we'll be going to Navarra in Dragon Age 4. I hope we will, but I wouldn't bet money on it. I bet money that we're going to Tevinter. I am convinced Dragon Age 4 is going to be set in Tevinter. That final shot of Trespasser, you know, it all but confirms that.
Did you see Wolf's face when he arrived?
Excuse me?
I heard West Hills has fallen to Darkspawn.
Your lands are in the south. Surely you've seen the Blight yourself.
Hardly. You know very well I've been in Denerim these past 2 years. Rosalind's health requires us to be in town, you understand?
Yes, I had heard that.
Shenanigans. What was I saying? I really hope we get to see Saharon. I really want to go to Qunari lands. I love the Qwinn so much. A wolf?
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. West Hills Arling belongs to the Darkspawn now, girl. Perhaps they're interested in giving sovereigns to the Chantry, feeding orphans, clothing idiots, or whatever it is you want.
I'm not here for a handout. I'm a Grey Warden. I didn't know the West Hills had fallen. I'm sorry. Who are you? Never mind. I'll leave you alone. We should... This guy's clearly not taking his loss very well. I think we should apologize for that. I didn't know the West Hills had fallen. I'm sorry.
Well, I can see how you might miss it. All of southern Ferelden covered by black clouds, the ground rotting beneath your feet, plagues and darkspawn raids going on until even the crows get sick of the smell of carrion. What's a little trifle like that when compared to the important troubles here in Denerim? There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry, Wolf. Bad times. What was it Loghain said? You know, oh, the man who called all of the nobles in Ferelden to Denerim when their lands are, you know, rotting. Ugh. Who are these two?
I have no time to deal with supplicants.
I'm not a supplicant.
Be gone. I've important matters to discuss.
Okay. The noble families of Ferelden. The occupation left empty castles in its wake. Whole families were butchered in the initial invasion, and all of those who couldn't or wouldn't bend knee to the Emperor's puppet king were declared traitors and hunted. Many bloodlines ended on chevaliers' blades at dusty crossroads, in forest clearings or in freeholds. And then there were the turncoats. To curry favour with their new masters, some nobles took up arms against their brothers. They betrayed and murdered the rebel queen, an act that created even more vacant titles and lands once King Marek exacted justice. That Ferelden did not fall apart after the Orlesians left is a testament to the strength of King Marek. The old families still held grudges against those who had sided with the Emperor, and those new families that had been granted titles were viewed as interlopers. The landsmeet that followed Marek's coronation were tense, to say the least. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Okay. Excuse me. Bartender.
What can I get you, stranger?
Anyone need help? Maybe with something not strictly legal. Have you heard any rumours? Let me see what you have. Nothing, thanks. Oh. I think Artin would... I think she would do number one. Again, we are trying to do a very legitimate PR strategy here. We're helping out merchants, we're helping out the guards. This is all great, but at the same time, if we could get Denerim's criminal underbelly on our side, you know, maybe someone orders a hit on Loghain and all our problems disappear. Who knows? Anyone need help? Maybe with something not strictly legal. He glances around for prying eyes, then produces a few notes on behalf of interested parties. Correspondus interruptus. Has a small request. It's always useful to have a big name in your pocket, and there's nothing better than snagging them with their knickers down. If, in Travels Wide, someone were to come across notes between illicit lovers, I have certain specialists who can make the most of the texts. Delivered to the bartender, an investment towards future manipulation will be handsomely paid. Thank you. Solving problems. D requires swift action. I have trouble. A few of my more excitable young associates got a little nervous during a couple of delicate handovers. Suffice to say, a little mess needs attention. Life is normally cheap, but if word of this gets out, there will be consequences. My men are under close watch, so I would be most grateful for someone willing to take care of this. Qwinn is assured. And negotiation aids? K requests the following. The troubles of the new blood seem to find me. I've ruffled some feathers with my alternative tactics, and certain people have had me blacklisted by my primary suppliers. So I put this out there to those enterprising friends who want an ally and perhaps a little coin. 15 toxin extract samples will be more than enough to ensure I can continue building support. Simple, isn't it? Okie doke.
What can I get you, stranger?
Oh, do I not have everything? Nothing. Let me see what you have.
Right, I'll show you around.
I think, yeah, this guy just has ale and stuff. I'll take the health poultices, though. Thank you. Excuse me. Rightio. So I am out of time for this episode. In the next, we will continue having a look around the Nord Noble Tavern. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.